I'm Aimee Pena, and I've been with Crystal for over 2 years.
So what made you want to do acting?
I always wanted to act, actually. I actually fell into it when I was 13, and it was by accident because they didn't have art class. So they threw me in theater arts, and I didn't want to do it. But being in the class, I realized that it was actually really fun and to be something you're not. Like, just to break out of your own skin, because at that time you're a teenager, you're going through so many things. So to me, I learned that acting was a positive outlet.
And what ended up bringing you to Crystal?
So I ended up looking up a site for actors or coaches here in Houston, and it was just all by chance. I ended up seeing Crystal Martinez's name, and it was like one-on-one coachings and submit or called or whatever, and I believe I ended up emailing her and getting responses back, and she was explaining to me how the classes were, and I think it took me a while to actually convince myself to jump to it and do it again, because by then I already had one of my kids, and I was like, I know this is going to take a lot of sacrifice back and forth, and would I be able to afford and keep up with that? That's when I ended up meeting Crystal about this time, actually, back in 2013 or 2014, and I haven't stopped coming since.
So what do you feel about the whole environment of her classes? Do you feel comfortable?
Absolutely. I mean, the moment I saw where Crystal held her classes, it just felt so cozy, family oriented, because right away, you know, I saw Crystal and her 2 kids, and in a way I kind of saw Crystal, it was kind of like a reflection. You know, I saw Crystal as my reflection. And I was like, you know, this is the perfect environment. I mean, because you get that one-on-one, and she's able to give you that time with good explanations, where to work on, where you're doing really good at, a lot of good feedback. I'm not really good with big classes because I feel like they don't give you that time or your time to really tweak or fix your performances. And with Crystal, this environment was just so comfortable, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I mean, I just kept coming back because it felt, the more and more I came, the more and more I learned, and the more and more I felt at home. It just felt so home to me, like a second home. It was, yeah, because I didn't feel confident enough, because, I mean, you would tell me technicals about the camera and stuff, which technicals in stage is so different from film, you know? So that was kind of like, am I going to be able to do this, or am I not going to be able to do this?
How did you feel once you made the transition from privates into the class?
The first time I made the transition, I think it was one of your invitations, like, just try Tuesday class, and I remember Brian was there.
Right, yeah.
And you said, why don't you act this scene with Brian? And when I don't know, something happened with everybody, it almost felt like stage, like if there was the audience and me and Brian were centered. It just, I don't know, it came to life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this actually works better for me because I get more of the feel of the character, the environment, and working actually with another actor.
That worked for you.
Well, actually, I don't feel less confident knowing that someone's with an agent and someone who's not, because I realize that we're all here for the same reasons, to learn and to better ourselves.
Right.
So what I like about it is to actually see someone who's signed with an agent, because you realize that, you know, their strengths, and you learn from that, and you realize why you're in the position that you're in, and where I need to work on to get to that level, to being in the same level. Right, but each person that has who has come in and left, signed or not signed, I've actually learned something from each and one of them, which betters my performance. And also, if I failed or a scene didn't go the way I thought, I basically just, you know, if a scene didn't go the way I wanted to go, you have taught us, dust yourself off. Everybody's going to fail, but don't quit. Get up and do it again. Do it again and do it again.
Never give up.
Never give up. If this is your passion, if this is your dream, just keep doing it.
So you learned a lot in class. Tell me what that helped you out outside of class.
So I got to do American Crime in Austin. I submitted only because a friend of ours here at class mentioned it. And I was a little iffy about it. I was like, what are the chances of being picked?
He's trying to steal your game.
But I ended up getting picked as a background extra. And that was a really good experience because really, Crystal talks about everything that happens on set with her and what the expectations are and things like that. But I'm a visual learner. So to me, this was like ideal because it's like your internship. You're actually going out to the field and putting what you learned into the work right on set. So I think American Crime was actually the best to go because it was very professional. And you got to see everything. Everything that Crystal talked about made so much sense to me.
It was a group of y'all too, right?
Yeah, it was Alexis, Lauren, Jennifer. So I mean, everything like you know, it comes together, and you're like, so that's what she talks about. So that's what she means about your moment before. Because I got to see what was her name, the actress Felicity, how she had her moment before, and she would just come right out, say her lines, and then she was out. And it was quick, you know, it was real quick, so it's like, I got to see everything, so that was amazing. Picked, and I got the email back from the casting director, and she wanted me to be a featured extra.
Right.
A mother of one of the golf players that's going to be taking place in the movie. And that was exciting because I remember Ulysses, we talked about the feature extra and how, you know, like, so that's what Crystal means about normal conversation. I mean, you don't have to be so loud and dramatic and animated.
Stopped you at the end and she said...
She did. She stopped me at the end and she said, you know, not only thank you for coming out this way, all the way from Houston, she goes, but me and the producers are really impressed with you. She goes, you have my cell phone number. She goes, I have your email. She goes, we'll keep in contact. So I thought that was really impressive. I mean, and it's like I said, I mean, I did it unknowingly. I didn't go out there and say, oh, I'm gonna impress. No, it just so happened because I was just
being professional.
Being professional. I wasn't playing around or talking to everybody. I mean, we socialized, but once they said rolling, and that's another thing. I learned a lot of technical words on set.
That was when you
So,
marched over.
after that-
Richard. How does it feel doing scenes with Richard the camera hog?
But it's almost like we're all little birdies in your nest.
Oh my gosh.
And whenever we do things like that, when we go out to the field, it's like, let me go out there.
But you gotta learn to
and-
fly.
Yeah. In other words, it's like, I think I can do this now. I can fly now.
Promo for the next like commercial.
There you go. There
Being
you go.
in Crystal's classes.
So,
Being in Crystal's classes makes me feel
Anyway,
like being
this
a
is
birdie
about
under a
Aimee.
wing.
anyways, so going back to San Antonio, what I was impressed is that I did everything Crystal said, be professional on the set, even though you have no lines, you're a featured extra or background extra, be attentive, look at what's going on around you.
Hi, it's me again.
Recommend these tests to other people.
Yes, I will, most definitely.
So you can have Richard like
Absolutely.
and
They're
Ulysses.
fun.
You know, look at Bill on the desk.
we gotta quote that.
Oh my god.
Little birdies in your
I
nest.
love it.
Crystal's classes make you feel like a little birdie under her wing.
There you go.